the world. So some of them are more interesting than others. Apparently this one is one of those that is interesting, he assures me. He actually introduced himself as a boring accountant, and I said, well, I can't use that. So, particularly when his firm is called Health and Life, which I've not seen that sort of link with accountancy firms. I'm very interested to hear what David Darn has to say, and his presentation is called Burqas and Blondes. So without further ado, David.
Thanks, Shane. Good evening. This is my topic, Burqas versus Blondes, the business of bias. Keep talking. I'll keep talking. What I'm going to be talking about today is how we are innately biased in the decisions we make, consciously and subconsciously. I would have thought that slide would move, but I'm a bit stuck here. Our company, Health and Life, there you go. We basically provide accounting services to the healthcare profession, and I like to draw attention to my letters next to my name. In fact, many years ago, an Indian doctor said to me, you know, David, you have to work 110% harder than the white guy. I'll tell you what, he was absolutely wrong. You have to actually work 410%. Anyway, we've been running a successful firm, and I really believe in giving back. So I've actually sat on the board of the Thunderbirds. We sponsor the biggest state club in netball, and really big on promoting health and financial literacy in the community. I'm also involved in the Australian campaign and foundation here in the state. Why am I here? Basically, I had a few employees we need to recruit. I asked a simple question: what did people say to you when you decided to join this firm? And I said, why would you want to work for an Indian? I was quite horrified. I went, ouch, that hurt. And I wondered why this has been a problem. And basically it's because a lot of Indians have been turning up, and what our ideas of Indians, they drive taxis and they do 7-Elevens. Back in the 70s, my parents were doctors from the UK, trained, couldn't make laws, and it was a different world. They were your local family doctor. So what did I do? I basically decided to stick myself on YouTube and let everybody know, hey, I've got an Aussie accent just like me. And hopefully that would make the difference, but that wasn't enough. I had to take it to another level. We had to go and win some major awards to show that, you know, we're a good Australian Aussie employer. So we went pretty hard, and guess what? We got a couple of Tilsh awards last year in our categories, and you know, we're one of the fastest growing firms in South Australia with a 55% growth rate. You would have thought with all that, we'd have no more problems, that we had it made. Maybe. Well, the answer is it wasn't. This is what's actually happened in our firm. Some of the comments that have actually come back are things like, gee, at interviews I've had young female accountants say, my father couldn't believe you're Australian, and you've got this Australian accent. I employed one Indian in my firm, and they said it's like calling an Indian call centre. You know, they say, are they to a script, David? You know, do they know what they're talking about? So there's been a few challenges we've been having in our firm, and nothing's really changed.
Okay.
Perception is a really big thing. If you see a Ferrari on the road, you wonder who owns it. The first thing that comes in your mind might be, he must be a drug dealer or a hedge fund manager. Here's a picture of a blonde girl there. Where do you think she's from? What's her background? She's Aboriginal. Another issue here about the pill. I had a Catholic trainee doctor got run up by the client, yelling at a young 16-year-old girl for not, for having unsavoury practices. Anyway, he basically starts yelling at her. He starts yelling at me, saying, David, I only will speak to a higher order. And he said that she shouldn't be basically getting this pill. Appearances are very important. Did you know that if you're good looking, you'll be paid an extra 10% more? So there is research that's out there that looks do matter. This is how we make judgments. So let's give an example. If you're in a retail shop and you needed to actually buy some clothing, would you rather be served by a woman, a sales assistant wearing a burqa, or a blonde woman that's serving you? Think about it. And what's the reality? The reality is a lot of people would not buy from the sales assistant wearing the burqa and just goes broke. And not only the blonde hasn't got a job, the woman hasn't got a job, and the owner hasn't got a job. And therefore it's anti-business. So then what do? We then go and hire the blonde. And then we get accused as employers that we're going to go to jail because of equal opportunity. That we're being sexist and we're just hiring pretty people. And that, we're recruiting from down there and not up here. So we can't win as employers. So I ask the question, who's really doing the discriminating? Is it the employer? Or is it the shopper? Is it you? And the reality is that our own actions, our own behaviours is what's driving the decisions we make. And it's our own biases that have an enormous role to play subconsciously, and we don't realise it. There are positive sides to biases. We used to have men driving trucks now. The mining companies prefer women. Do you know why? They're easier on the brakes, they're easier on the tyres. These trucks last longer. In consulting, all my clients are saying they prefer female accountants. Why? Because they're more empathetic. With your restructurings, they can be hairy. They'd rather deal with people that are nice and softer over the frame. So as you can see, biases come from wealth, status, how you look, how you smell, whether you're gay, whether your sexual preferences. There's a whole range of things that people make judgments about each other, and that influences us. And the problem in life is that we're living in this hyperdrive society. We're after instant gratification. We're not an expert at something. We basically try and make our decisions by doing some research on YouTube, how many friends do they have that actually give that like symbol, and then we'll make a decision and a purchase on that basis. Because who we trust is our friends. And that's how we make those decisions. And there was actually this Nobel economist who has actually said that when we're making decisions we're not an expert, intuition gives an approximate answer based on our bias. So, in other words, when you're not sure about something, our biases kick in. The reality is that it's normal to have a bias in you. The question is how much does that affect the decisions you make? And the issue that I'd like to pose today is about cultural change. At the end of the day, your attitude about how you would like to treat other people and they treat you is really, really important. So if you want to make a cultural change today, share this video around with a few of your friends and get as many likes as possible. Because until we look at ourselves first, we can't really start changing the world, and it starts with you. Thank you.
So who have you met here tonight that has inspired you so far?
I must admit, just watching Vin sort of stand up and speak, why didn't that blow you away, this Chinese guy that comes up with the biggest Aussie accent? It's a bit of a confusing night, and I'm standing here talking, and people probably feeling the same way about me. But look, Vin standing up there and saying, go out there and give it a go, do what you love, he's absolutely on the money on that. And I guess I've got a personal connection with his story because he's an accountant and he studied it and didn't find his passion there. And it just shows you can just do anything you want. It's just got to basically put your mind to it.
So what would you say to people out there who are thinking about doing a Pecha Kucha?
Just get up there and give it a go. What do you got to lose? If you're on the ground, there's only one way, and that's up. If it works for you, you never know where it can take you. You never know who you can meet. I'm already meeting quite a few people already, and they all want to have a side chat with you about something, and opens a lot of doors.
All right, David, thank you, and we'll leave you to meet some more people.
Thank you.